everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Shaymin reaction. And we are going to do Monday Night Raw once again. We got to get right into this because I still have a time limit. These are going to get longer once I can get off this time limit and we can just talk a little bit more. But we go right into it. They have an excellent tribute for Orlando, which I personally appreciate quite a bit. And again, for those that were injured or died in that accident that shooting, the largest mass shooting in U.S. history. It's absolutely atrocious. But so then after that, we get right into it. We try to lift the mood again, have the New Day come out, which is honestly perfect. You just get the mood right back up. And as they make fun of Kofi Kingston's shoes that he's got on, the Steph Curry's, it was a great segment. They had, Kofi's shoes get bashed on by, Big E and Xavier Woods. And Enzo and Kaz comes out, and Enzo acts all serious. He sounds like he's going to say something like absolutely like mean and tear into these guys, but then he's just like, "What up with your shoes, man?" So, and then the whole Francesca thing was pretty funny as well. Then the Vaudevillains come out, and then they have kind of a flashback to Aiden English's gimmick where he sang a lot, which I personally liked. That's back when I watched NXT more often, and I should probably do that a little bit more, but what can I do? So Gallows and Anderson come out. They do the whole fun police stuff, and I thought that was great. It was a great opening segment, and then they went into a solid 8-man tag match where Gallows and Anderson end up picking up the victory with the Magic Killer, and overall, it was a pretty good start to the show. Now, here's where I have the problem. First, that was a pretty decent start to the show, and then we don't have a single match until the second hour. The rest are just segments. We got the What the Fuck thing with Bob Backlund and Darren Young. Kane comes back, which the segment was really good, but it was like 5 minutes. And, with all these other things, it's just, where are the matches? Like, I like segments as just as much as anybody else. Like, I like just regular segments. But not to have a single match for like 40 minutes is too much. But yeah, Kane comes back. He has a letter of recommendation from Undertaker, which was hilarious in my opinion. We had a Sheamus and Ryder backstage segment. We knew just as soon as I saw Ryder in the back and Sheamus come out of the corner, oh, Ryder's getting buried again. Woo, you know it. Okay. And then we had the whole stupid Puerto Rico thing, which is goddamn annoying at this point because they're never going to get over. Ever. It's just stupid. Then Titus O'Neil comes out. Supposedly they have a match. Rusev blindsides him. This was an excellent segment. Don't get me wrong. This was awesome. It showed just how powerful Rusev is. He just tore into Titus O'Neil. It was really, really good. Like, that is how you put Rusev over right there. Or get him the heat that he needs. And it wasn't about America. We're not, devolving back into this whole America thing. He just beat the crap out of Titus O'Neil, and it was really good. So, we have the Ambrose Asylum, which was brought back for just the purposes of this, these three guys in the ring. And the segment was okay. Personally, whenever I see the three members of the Shield back into the ring, I'm like, this is so awesome. Yes, these three guys, the Shield was probably my favorite trio team ever. Like, out of all teams with just three people, gotta say the Shield is definitely number one. And they are one of my favorite teams of all time. Probably around the bottom of the top 10. I don't know. I would have to rank them or something. But I thought it was a really great ending, though. They have Dean Ambrose. I was waiting for it too. When he said or, I'm like, or Ambrose wins Money in the Bank and cashes in the same day. And that's exactly what he said. And I thought that was a great teaser. It's probably not going to happen because they always tease Ambrose winning right before he loses. So there's that. And we fought, that's right, Stephanie McMahon in the back with Ambrose. And she says, oh, you're going to face Chris Jericho. And here's me like, how many times is this? Ambrose versus Jericho, part 500 million, something like that. No, terrible decision. Like, out of everything you possibly could have done, that's what you come up with? Ambrose and Jericho, part 500 bajillion. Really? So, I was really upset about that, to be honest with you. I would have taken a lot of other matches over this feud that we've been seeing for months now, and we already know how it plays out. So then we have Paige versus Charlotte with Becky and Natalya on commentary, and Paige wins with the Rampage and 50 bajillion super kicks, and Dana, the downfall of Charlotte's officially begun. This was like 3 minutes. This was like a 3-minute match. 3-minute match, and the only women's segment of the night, the only women's match of the night. We have like a short segment later with Charlotte backstage with Dana just yelling at her, which is expected, but come on. Then we get Cesaro and Zayn backstage, which was a pretty good segment, hyping up for their match. We get Ryder versus Sheamus, ends exactly how you would think it is. In fact, every single match that Zack Ryder jobs in is exactly the same. Like, he'll get attacked really quickly first. He'll gain some momentum. People will start getting hyped for Zack Ryder, and then he'll immediately get all the momentum slapped right in his face, and he'll lose. And then this time, Sheamus attacking Ryder. Apollo Crews makes the save. Their match at Money in the Bank is going to happen. Yeah, we get it. Then we have a backstage segment where Owens is just completely a boss. He stops Del Rio with security for 5 hours. He shows up late. He tries to get Del Rio out of the Money in the Bank ladder match. It was pretty good segment. And we get Owens and Del Rio versus the Lucha Dragons later. And if the Lucha Dragons win, they take Owens and Del Rio's spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match, which, at least they had some sort of stipulation for it. Then we get Cesaro versus Sami Zayn, which was a really good match, but it was really short, which is a theme today, apparently. Just another short match. It was a really good match. Like, they fit a lot of stuff in. But Zayn wins off the Blue Thunder Bomb. Again, really great match. But I would have liked to see a little bit more, but apparently they had a bunch of just random-ass segments that were kind of unnecessary that they have to shove into this Raw, which is only 3 hours, right? Because we only have time for six total matches. And all of them were less than 20 minutes. There were a handful that were less than 5. Like, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, in my opinion. Like, you should not have a 3-hour Raw and have 6 matches. And what? How many were there? Like, 3? 3 of those matches were less than 5 minutes, and there was the other 3 were like maybe 15. Like, the other 3 were decent, but 3 decent match lengths. And it's just I don't know. Then we have the contract signing between Styles and Cena, which was a really good segment. It really got people interested into that match. Cena mentioned that Styles had been to a number of different companies, but he did not say TNA. I just found that funny. I mean, TNA is not competition for WWE. Ring of Honor just got bought out recently, right? I think they got bought out by some super rich company that could potentially pour all that money into Ring of Honor. But anyway, So that was a pretty good match, or signing. The match after that, Owens and Del Rio taking on the Lucha Dragons. Everything went as expected. Del Rio, after the match, super kicking Owens in the face. After this, we get a great video package of the awesome one, The Miz. And then we go to another backstage segment, which also seems to be a theme today with all these backstage segments, where we get Owens on commentary. Del Rio is the special guest ring or timekeeper. Cesaro is going to be on the microphone. Kane doesn't get the job. All this good stuff. So then we get Ambrose versus Jericho 1000. And Ambrose wins off the dirty deeds. He wins the way that practically every single Jericho and Ambrose match is gone. And everybody storms the ring after the match. Because you gotta be nice and polite and wait until the match is over before attacking and starting this free-for-all. And then they have Jericho grab the briefcase, which I thought was an interesting touch. I don't think, not off the top of my head, I could be wrong, but I don't think there's ever been a Raw go-home show to a Money in the Bank match, whether it be at WrestleMania or in these pay-per-views, where the person that grabs the briefcase or the person that stands tall, because this always happens, the person that stands tall is never the one that wins it. As far as I know, the person that stands tall on the Raw before the Money in the Bank ladder match never wins the briefcase. I could be wrong about that. I could very well be wrong about that. But that's as far as I know. And nobody really expects Jericho to win. I mean, let's be honest. But the tease is okay. I mean, I'll take the tease. Like, I wonder if Jericho was just like, if I'm going to lose the Money in the Bank ladder match again, can you at least give me the satisfaction of pulling the briefcase off? I feel like that's what he wants. Like, woo, I've done it. All right, I'm going to put this thing back on now. So, that was Raw. And, again, there were some good parts, but there was a lot that could have been taken out. You could have easily squeezed all these important stuff into 2 hours. You could have not had Kane show up. You could have not had as many backstage segments that were completely unnecessary, by the way. Like, a lot of these were completely unnecessary. Like, I mean, Kevin Owens is entertaining as hell, but we don't need him in... How many were there? 1, 2... What, like 3 backstage segments? Two backstage segments? It's ridiculous, in my opinion. Like, how many backstage segments we got, and then the teaser for the fucking, for Puerto Rico and Darren Young, and there was so many unnecessary things in tonight's Raw, and, well, some ways it did hype me up. Some ways it didn't. There is a very good chance that I'll post a preview to Money in the Bank and my predictions on each of the matches that are going on. So stay tuned for that towards the end of the week at some point. But I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching. Make sure to comment down below on Raw Reactions. Comment down below on your thoughts about the show. I'd like to hear what you guys think about my opinions on the show as well. Make sure you click that thumbs up button and the subscribe button, excuse me, if you haven't already. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching once more.